Well, hello, YouTubers. It's the Average Joe with the Bipartisan Guy. Just a quick talk today. So, with the Epstein stuff, I guess we need to have the Maxwell files released as well. It's the only way we're going to get to the truth of this, the sidestep and the corruption. That's what this is all about. It isn't even about Trump. It's about protecting billionaires that have violated not only the law, but humanity. Going after little girls. Good Lord. So, this administration is by far the most corrupt administration that's ever been in the history of the United States. We have a president who thinks he has the power to levy taxes on the common day citizen. That's what Congress is for. He doesn't have that power. That power is regulated to Congress. And for good reason, I might add. Can you imagine having the executive of any administration just able to levy taxes just because he's mad? He woke up on the wrong side of the bed, poor little boy. So, Scott Bassett on Morning Joe this morning. Not that I watch Morning Joe very often, but I just wanted to hear the lies that Mr. Bassett had to say. And I found it amusing that he talked about the China shock. For those of you that are just now getting to know my channel, I did a video about the China shock. It was the U.S.-China Relations Act of 2000. And he immediately blamed it all on, of course, the Democrats, Bill Clinton. But if you do the research, although Bill Clinton was the president at the time, it was indeed the Republicans that jammed that bill through for greed. Greed, the whole fact that they could buy goods from China lowered their operating costs by so much that it enabled sellers, manufacturers, to sell their product just a little bit cheaper than it had been if it were American made. However, the profit margin increased dramatically. So I encourage you guys to go look at my video about the U.S.-China Relations Act of 2000. I'll leave it up here in the video when I'm done. But back to the files. Now, we just need to see the files. This is just ridiculous that we have an element of criminality, and it's been going on for a long time. It's just that Trump is too stupid to keep it covered up. Instead, he wants to throw it out there and brag about it. He says, "Look at how corrupt I am. I can change the. I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it." He's just a criminal, man. 34 counts. Yeah. So anyway, now we need to see the Maxwell files as well. So we need to see the Epstein files. And now, since Trump brought it out into the open, let's go ahead and see what those trial transcripts of Maxwell have to say. Release them. Otherwise, you're just a liar. But we all know that anyway. So I went to the grocery store yesterday for my monthly grocery shopping. Kroger's good enough to give us old guys a 10% discount on the first Wednesday of every month. But you know what I didn't buy? I didn't buy any beef. Good Lord. Have you seen the price of beef? I can't imagine. $7 for a pound of hamburger? Utterly ridiculous. So Chicken's good. Pork's good. I love a good pork rib. Well, now we have the Hatch green chilies out, so make a big pot of green chili stew. But just telling you, man, there's no buying beef. Now, what's that going to do to them poor cattle ranchers, especially ones down in Texas? They're having their little dinner, their little secret dinner tonight to talk about the Epstein files. Well, now we need to talk about the Maxwell files as well. Good Lord. Just trying to figure out how we can put a spin on it and lie to the dumbasses that'll believe it. What you gotta do is open your eyes. This thing with Texas is funny though. I saw one YouTuber, Will, the Back 40 is his channel's name. He's saying, who's going to buy beef from the Texas cattle ranchers? Put the herd on them. Say, no, you're going to take our democracy. I don't know about anybody else, but, for example, you couldn't drag me into a Home Depot. Well, I haven't been in a Home Depot. I had to go one time because a water heater element that I needed for one of the water heaters here at the homestead. The only place I could get it was Home Depot, but I wouldn't go in there. I wouldn't go in there if their stuff was free. And the reason is because they finance the Stop the Steal. So these corporations and any manufacturer, corporation, whatever, that's going to try and do away with democracy isn't going to get any perks from me. So, I've been around for a lot of years, though. I lived through the 70s, so I know how to live without stuff. Unfortunately, since the China shock, the newer generations are used to having everything they want or need at the snap of the fingers. Tighten your belts, people, because it's only going to get worse. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Thanks for listening to me. If you disagree with me, leave me a comment. I love disagreements. Make it a fair debate, though. And if you like my content, give me a thumbs up. Until the next one, stay bipartisan and do some critical thinking. Bye now.